Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone! I just finished eating my taco casa and my sweet tea, so I decided that I needed to make a video for y'all before I took my nap. So I wanted to thank everyone that has liked and reached out to me and said that they've liked the videos and that they're going to keep watching them and that they think they're helping. Because truly, I want to say thank you, because I'm not doing these videos for me, trust me, because if I was, I would have stopped after the first one. I'm doing it for the idea that it will reach a woman, young or old, that is going through breast cancer, and maybe by watching my videos that they'll relate and they'll feel a little bit less alone in this shitty process. So I told y'all about how I found it in the shower. I told y'all about my shit show of an experience with my first mammogram and ultrasound. So now, fast forward to me freaking out and knowing that I needed to switch and find a really good oncologist. So one of my coworkers used to be a nurse with the legend, Dr. Emily Robinson. So she got me in with her, and Dr. Robinson is a amazing, incredible, totally go to her if you're in the Houston area, even if you're not, oncology breast surgeon. So I kind of went backwards. I got in with the surgeon before I got in with the oncologist. So I went to her. I showed her, Dr. Robinson, I showed her the disc and the imaging that I had done. She wasn't satisfied with it. She wanted her people to do their own, and she wanted she had seen the images, so she also too agreed that I needed the biopsy as well. So she wanted me to do it all in the same day. Mind you, this was all happening in October, so we all know, and I love and have a great deal of respect for October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I have a long history with it. My mom used to be the chair for the Fort Worth Race for the Cure. I was a Zeta, and our philanthropy was breast cancer awareness, so, which is kind of ironic. So I knew. So October, there's just pink everywhere. I mean, for those of y'all that know that, like, I used to work for UT, and I would have to walk through Herman Hospital, so twice a day I would have to see this massive 6 foot tall Christmas tree that was decorated in all pink ribbons, breast cancer, massive tree, everything. So I would go up the escalator and go down the escalator every day and have to see this massive pink thing just flashing at me, reminding me that I have breast cancer, which is whatever. So I got in finally with Memorial Hermann Southwest, their breast center, on October 31st. And the only reason why I got in like within 2 weeks was I actually became very nervous whenever nobody was getting me in, and I didn't want to wait like 3 more weeks to get this done. So one of the most amazing things that Dr. Robinson does is that she gives you her cell phone number, her personal cell phone number. Like, what doctor does that? So I texted her and I was like, hey, Dr. Robinson, I'm getting a little nervous. Nobody's able to get me in. Is there anything you can do? So, of course, the boss that she is, she clearly did something, because an hour later, the scheduling people at Herman called me and said, oh, yeah, we can get you in. And it was like a week later. And it was on October 31st on Halloween. But it was the soonest thing. It was the best thing. I didn't want to wait any longer. So Halloween comes around. It took about 4 hours, which is much longer than your average imaging visit, because I did do everything over again, and in addition to the biopsy. So I had another mammogram, I had another ultrasound, and then I did biopsies of both of the masses in my boob and then of one of my lymph nodes. The staff was amazing, so sweet. The radiologist was so sweet, very straightforward, but also very caring. I mean, it was like caring in the way that, like, you just know that they're saying, like, oh, poor poor girl, like, she has cancer, so we're gonna treat her really well. Type of a thing. But it was okay. So I already explained to y'all about how the mammogram and the ultrasound goes down. So the biopsy. So I think the easiest way, like what it actually reminded me of was like, okay, you know the gun that you like pierce your ears with, and it's like, and you know the needle went through. So it's like that same thing. So it has the gun on one end and then like a long metal rod, and on the end it has like whatever mechanism they have to like stab your mass and then pull out a sample big enough for the biopsy. So you lay down in whatever position. So you lay there, and they have to like position you perfectly, and they use an ultrasound to like guide where they're sticking it in. So he has this really long like metal rod, and they gave me a numbing shot before, but honestly the numbing shot is like, doesn't do everything. You can't totally, I mean, it's not like barbaric where they're like stabbing a needle in you, but I mean, you can definitely feel when he actually like pulls the trigger to like stab the tumor to like get the sample, I guess. And like he counts down, says 1, 2, 3, and it's basically just like a lot of pressure, just like and so he did that for both the masses, and then the lymph nodes. The lymph node one was actually not as painful, so that was good. But it was definitely, I was exhausted by the time Jordan finally was able to come and pick me up, and I just wanted to go home. And it was Halloween, and I love Halloween, and I really wanted to get home for trick-or-treaters, and it took freaking forever because, of course, it was like 5 o'clock traffic, and it had rained all day that day, and so Houston was kind of starting to flood, and it took freaking forever, and every single bump, like in the truck, I could feel it hurt. But a really great thing that I totally advise every woman that gets a biopsy done is ask them for an ice pack or ice or anything that's cold like that. They sent me home with an ice pack for my boob and in my armpit, and that helped so much. Basically just numbs you up to where you can't feel it anymore, because every little like movement, like, oof, you can feel it. You definitely become like very sore. I mean, the next day it wasn't as bad. You're still kind of sore, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, I was still able to hand out candy to all the trick-or-treaters that came. So yeah, that was the biopsy. So going in sequential order, next thing, dun dun dun, I guess is for when Dr. Robinson told me I had cancer. That will be my next video. So thank you everyone again for watching this. I just want to reach women, so please subscribe, like, follow, do whatever you got to do. Again, please, if you have any questions about anything in any of my videos, just write a comment and ask. Because if you have a question about, I don't describe everything as well as I could, and I have a lot of other experiences that I can, I guess, include if you want a more specific, if you have a more specific question about something. So ask your questions. I'm here for it. Go eat a taco. It's Taco Tuesday. All right. Bye, y'all.